We've all done it. That little ego boost, or maybe paranoia. Typing your own name into the void. You expect the usual, your weird Facebook profile, that job from 5 years ago. But what if you scrolled too far? What if you clicked on a link that wasn't meant to be found? I did, and I found me, or a version of me, living a life I don't recognize in the darkest corners of the web. This isn't just a warning, it's a confession. Never Google your own name because you might not like who you find. It started innocently enough. Boredom, maybe? One of those nights when you fall down an internet rabbit hole. Only this time, the rabbit hole was shaped like mine. The first few pages were predictable. My LinkedIn profile, professional and sterile. My forgotten MySpace page, a fossil I thought had been buried long ago. Photos my friends had tagged me in, awkward smiles and questionable fashion choices. It was me, but a comfortable, familiar version. Harmless, just digital dust. I almost closed the tab, satisfied that my digital ghost was just boring. It was digital archaeology, nothing more. But deep down, maybe on page 7, maybe 8, it was there. A link. It didn't look like the others. No title, no description, just a chaotic jumble of letters and numbers. It ended in a .onion suffix. I didn't know what that meant at the time. It felt out of place, like a glitch in the matrix, a dark spot on an X-ray. My browser probably tried to warn me. Common sense certainly screamed at me to close the tab. But that little voice, the curious, self-destructive part that had brought me here, whispered again, "What's this?" That single click wasn't just opening a web page. It was like taking a step off a cliff into the dark. The link went nowhere in my regular browser, a dead end. But it wasn't dead, was it? It was just locked. A quick search, too quick, almost anxious, told me what I needed. A special browser, Tor, a key to the hidden depths of the internet. Installing it felt illicit, wrong, like picking a lock on a door I'd been explicitly told not to open. When the browser started, the air felt different, colder. Searching my name there felt insane, like screaming into an abyss hoping only the right kind of monster would hear you. The results weren't like Google's. They were fragmented, coded, links to forums with names that gave me the creeps. I clicked on one. The loading time stretched on forever. The screen was black, the text crawling like green phosphorus. It felt old and guarded. Each click felt like a footstep in an abandoned house. It was mostly noise at first, digital screams I couldn't make out. But then I saw a username. Not mine, but similar. It was too similar. They were talking about my city, about a coffee shop I always go to. My heart hammered against my ribs. It felt like walking into a room and hearing strangers discussing their deepest secrets. I scrolled faster, a cold dread crawling up my spine. They were talking about me, not directly, but in riddles, in shared ugly jokes, using details that a stranger shouldn't know. How? How could they know? Was this some elaborate prank? Or had my digital ghost followed me here? No, it wasn't following me. It felt like it was waiting for me. It took me a second to process. The profile page loaded, image by image, like a Polaroid developing in acid. And then I saw it. My face, staring back at me from the abyss. It was an old photo, one I hadn't seen in years, but it was me. Except it wasn't. The eyes were empty, an endless digital black. The smile, God, the smile was stretched, predatory. It wasn't my smile. It was the smile of something wearing me. Below the photo, the bio was a jumble of random code and my life, my birthday, my mother's maiden name, the name of my first pet, things I'd used as security questions, things buried deep. And then the ads. My life dissected and put up for sale. Access to my webcam, my emails, my social security number, a complete identity package. It was horrible, but that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the posts it was making. Like me, he talked about urges, fantasies, things I can't even begin to repeat. He described acts in chilling detail that made my stomach turn. He spoke in my voice, but it was a voice twisted with pure malice. He talked about people I knew, places I went. He knew my routines, my habits. He wasn't just stealing my identity, he was living a monstrous version of it. He was showing the world a face I didn't have, a soul I didn't possess. I felt physically sick, violated on a level I couldn't comprehend. This thing was out there, wearing my skin online, polluting my name, my very being, in the darkest corners imaginable. And the most terrifying thought hit me like a physical blow. How long had it been there? How many people had seen this thing and thought it was me? My digital ghost wasn't just a ghost, it was a demon, and it was wearing my face. My mind raced, reported. For who? The dark web police? Try to delete it? How? My first instinct was to run, slam my laptop shut, and pretend none of it existed. But then, the ping. A sound I knew, but it felt alien here. A chat window exploded onto my screen. It wasn't me. I didn't click anything. The cursor blinked once, twice, and then the text began to appear. Letter by agonizing letter. I knew I was there. Hello? Me? The casual horror of it. We? Who was we? My fingers felt like lead, but I had to respond. I had to know. I typed back, "Who are you? What do you want?" The response was instant, too instant. Complete? Intrusive? It wasn't a hacker. It wasn't a scammer. It felt different, older, hungrier. It started sending me pictures, my pictures, but with subtle, horrific changes. A shadow behind me in an old family photo. My reflection in a window distorted into that monstrous smile. Then it sent a link, a live feed, my webcam. It was my webcam, but the light wasn't on. It couldn't be on. I'd covered it with tape months ago. But the feed was live, my room, my empty chair. I turned, my heart pounding. No one was there. But the feed, it wasn't just my room. It felt like I was looking through its eyes. And then I saw it. In the feed, a flicker. A shape moving in the corner of the screen. A shadow breaking away from other shadows. It was in my room. Merge? I slammed my laptop shut. The sound echoed in the sudden, terrifying silence of my room. But I could still hear it. Not the typing, not the ping, but a whisper. Faint, digital, coming from the closed laptop. Repeating that horrible word. Complete, complete, complete. Closing the laptop did nothing. It was like trying to stop a flood with a paper towel. The leak started almost immediately. My real inbox filled with spam, but it was from my own address. My phone exploded. Friends texted me, angry, confused. Why did you send me that? What was that horrible picture? I hadn't sent anything, but it had. Have I regained control? Does it matter? Look at this screen. It knows I'm recording this. Maybe it wants me to record it. A new way to spread, a new way to find you. So I beg you, don't look, don't search your name. Some digital ghosts are best left buried. Because if you find your doppelganger, you might end up becoming them. Are you still there? Good. That means you're still you for now. But the doppelganger you found here isn't the only danger lurking in the digital shadows. Every click, every search leaves a trail, an echo. And there are things that hear those echoes. Do you feel safe now, knowing that your identity might just be another item for sale in the darkness? Here, at Urban Echoes, we don't offer security, we offer knowledge. We stare back into the abyss. Every legend, every rule, every story we tell is another node in the web that protects us or imprisons us. Want to know what other ghosts haunt the machines? What cursed codes are circulating? Click on these terminals. They are other profiles you need to know before they know you. And if you want to keep receiving these reports from the front lines of the digital supernatural war, if you want Urban Echoes to be your watchman in this labyrinth of haunted data, sign up, join our network. It's the only way to ensure that when they search for your name, they find one of us staring back. Stay safe, if you can.